Gentlemen, this is Black Ops Cold War. Now, CIA analysts believe this game to be the single greatest threat to the free world. Mr. Hudson, we're in the middle of a global pandemic here. Activision changed developers halfway through. Personally, I think they're going to wait another year rather than release this broken. Allow me to introduce the man best suited to respond to that, Mr. Russell Achtler. He's been playing and reviewing Call of Duty games for the last few years. Well, Mr. Achtler, why do you believe Activision simply won't delay this game? Well, they might. Yeah, but then they wouldn't get their precious money. Sir, every year, Activision has released a new Call of Duty, whether it was ready or not. If it happens this year, millions of innocent players could be subjected to an unfinished game. Mr. President, I am Ronald Reagan, 40th President of the United States. Mr. Achtler, what should be done about Black Ops Cold War? Well, sir, I think we should just hire the original voice actors to reprise these roles.
I think we should take a big fat f***ing shit all over their f***ing f***s and
I'm just gonna sit here looking cool. Well, then that about settles it. If Activision is intent on releasing this game, then the true nature of it must be revealed. While few people will know of your struggles, rest assured that the gaming community will enjoy a quality review of Black Ops Cold War.
This game sucks. Well, maybe not that bad, but it's kind of a huge mess right now. But don't worry, I've got a mop. Let's get one thing out of the way. Sledgehammer and Raven Software originally were the lead devs for this year's COD, but after, quote, major upheaval, Activision brought Treyarch in to take point. This has shaken up things quite a bit, as every COD since BO2 has been made under a 3-year cycle. Now, instead of breaking tradition, maybe doing the smart thing and delaying it for a couple months,
hello there.
Activision pushed this out clearly before it was ready, and the result is, well, you'll see. But at least this serves as an explanation for why Cold War feels unfinished. Now, despite what you may think of the title, let me emphasize, Cold War isn't a bad game. It's plagued by bad problems. Being made in 2 years during a global pandemic, nobody would have cried if this came out next year. With the pressure now on Treyarch, they decided this year Call of Duty would be set during the Cold War. And you know what that means. It's back to Black Operations. Aw yeah. Coming off Treyarch's last game, BO4 had a whole mess of problems, from being a buggy disaster at launch, uninspired maps, a controversial zombies mode, and worst of all, no campaign at all. But how does Cold War improve on these aspects, if at all? What we needed at this point was a soft reboot. Yeah, just like that. Bring back fan-favorite characters, revive the Black Ops storyline, and continue the great trends that were set in Modern Warfare. Seems like a recipe for success. If only they didn't use a few rotten ingredients. How has multiplayer and zombies evolved? Where does Treyarch take the story? And what the hell happened to this man's face? Well, let's track down Perseus, collect evidence, and crash the game straight into this. After Modern Warfare blew my balls off with its awesome campaign, I was real excited to see how or if Cold War could even compete. To give a quick spoiler-free review, Cold War is damn good fun, and the story is captivating. There's a lot of twists and turns, and it does what BO3 and 4 should have done. Connect to the other stories. It's got some incredible replay value, but now we're gonna dive into the story, so spoilerinos! The campaign starts off red hot, just like the commies. Bam! Real world footage montage, mashed together with Spirit in the Sky. If I could play this for you without getting a copyright strike, oh I would. Ronald Reagan gives a dramatic opening speech and tells us about a Cold War disaster on the horizon. Today is January 9th, 1981. Even though his screen time is short, Reagan adds a huge presence to the backdrop of the story.
There is no higher duty. There is no higher honor. And while few people will know of your struggles, rest assured, the entire free world will benefit.
Next, a man named Black, voiced by none other than Creed Bratton.
Mr. President, we have two names linked to the hostage situation.
With two suspects, Kavar and Kasim. And so, we begin by taking control of a familiar face, Alex Mason. Voiced by a different person.
You're 7 years old, David. Stop acting like a baby.
Why didn't you tell us it was an American nuke?
Alongside the stunningly gorgeous Russell Adler, the two smoke up at the hottest bar in Amsterdam.
Woods, it's been a while.
Well, enough, Carlos. You know Bowman, right?
Can we just end the game here? I'm jamming out to Billy Squire. They meet up with none other than Frank Woods. Also voiced by a different person.
Yeah, you're the expert in quiet.
I'm a goddamn onion, Mason. You should know that.
Look at man, Woods wouldn't fucking say that. My Woods would not say that. I'm a goddamn onion, Mason. What the fuck is that? Who the fuck says that?
So we take out Kasim's boys and corner him on a rooftop.
Nowhere left to run, Kasim.
We can work some punch!
You're up, Mason.
Time to interrogate this motherfucker.
What the?
Dialogue options in a Call of Duty?
I don't think you understand the situation.
You get to choose between throwing this man over, releasing him, or keeping him hostage. If you kill him early, you won't get the coded message for a side mission, so best to stay light side for now. With the info they need to find the other kidnapper, Arash, the trio make their way to Turkey. Arash pulls up and executes two men in a jeep. That's our cue to drop the hammer. There's a pretty dope chase sequence, and using the RC car, we take down a goddamn plane.
Lord Jesus, oh shit! Jesus Christ! Lord have mercy! Oh Lord Jesus! Oh Jesus! Oh shit! Oh Lord Jesus! Whoa! That was awesome! That was awesome right there! God damn!
The team interrogates Arash, and I gotta say, he is sporting a true 80s haircut and stash. What'd he say? A man named Perseus has a plan in motion to burn the West to the ground?
Who the fuck is Perseus?
I was about to say that.
We see yet another familiar face in Jason Hutz. Yeah, he's voiced by a different person. Mr. Dope Sunglasses gives us a briefing on everything they know about Perseus. Ronald Reagan shows up and is all like, I hope you're all Republicans. Yes, we are, Mr. President. They all agree. This is a threat they can't ignore. Well, hot diggity, I'm invested already. It's so cool to see Cold War take a more historical focus on the storytelling, because that's what I've been talking about, man. That's part of what made BO1 and World at War so amazing. They were grounded in real historical conflicts. Unfortunately, after this, the story takes a complete nosedive, and it's not the writing, it's... What in fuck's name am I looking at? I have no words. Cold War's cutscenes are actually broken. I've got 15 minutes of this garbage. Why is the screen melting? What's that gray box? Why does the sound outpace the video and then rapidly catch up at the end?
Green light. Didn't tell us. What else are you hiding? Maybe I can knock the truth out of you.
You might want to rethink that, Woods.
What the hell am I looking at?
People have reported the same problem on every platform, so it's not just me. Bro, somehow, this is worse than Mass Effect Andromeda. At least that garbage was watchable. I will say this game does make you feel like you're in the Cold War, cause boy, it be freezing a whole lot. This game crashes more than drunk drivers do, and in every mode. Even Dead Ops Arcade for Adler's sake. And it doesn't just crash the game, it crashes the fucking console. What do I have to do, sell my soul to get this shit to work? I've seen comments trying to direct blame my way like, it's cause you're on Xbox, you need to disable ray tracing, try shoving the power cable in your asshole. I bought the game, installed it, that's it. End of discussion. It's not my responsibility as a consumer to play Geek Squad and conduct a freaking autopsy. I have never before seen a game with such busted ass cutscenes or have crashes be so frequent as to happen during every play session. For some, this could totally kill any enthusiasm they have to play the game. But I'm Actman, and we've still got a job to do.
Evening, soldier. Russell Ackler here. Now, we've got some new intel. It appears that the Actman has actually launched his merch store, and we've tracked it to a website called madebystarstuff.com. Look, soldier, in order to track down Perseus, first you're gonna need to buy one of these sexy Actman coffee mugs. And if that's not good enough, we've also got phone cases too. And check out this dope-ass Black Ops t-shirt. Why is my shirt so awesome? Check out the merch, guys. I'm so excited to finally launch it. Please support the channel, and you'll get some dope t-shirts while you're at it. And now back to the video.
Back to the story. It revolves around an all-star cast of CIA operatives, tracking down the mysterious figure Perseus and halting his evil plans. It's yet another weapons of mass destruction type plot, but it gets the job done. And since Perseus was, you know, an actual Cold War rumor at the time, this game's story is legitimized. So it's time to fill out our psychological profile as Bell, the silent protagonist. We also choose bonus perks, pick a gender, and a background. You can be CIA, MI6, or ex-KGB, and each option has slightly different dialogue throughout the campaign, which is a neat touch. Now that's beautiful. Acting Bell male. Bell arrives at a safe house and meets the gang. Of course, we got Jason Hudson with his signature glasses, Alex Mason and Frank Woods, with newcomers in Lazar, Sims, Helen Park, and the stunning Russell Adler. The cast is well-rounded, diverse, and it's in the safe house that things slow down a bit, and you get a chance to talk to each one of them.
We archive everything. CIA's like my ex-wife. Won't throw a damn thing away.
Even Mason and Woods stop by for a nostalgic chat. These dialogue sections build a lot of character and motivations. But whatever you do,
never ask him about his scar.
Yo Adler, how'd you get that scar?
Scar? You mean this? Is it noticeable?
I swear to God, if you say your father was a drinker and a fiend.
You ever been attacked by a tiger, Bell?
Oh, tigers? That's badass. This is probably the best hub area in any COD. Here you get briefed on what's happening, but you also take on a detective role and collect evidence in each mission. This is awesome. You get to examine it, zoom in, read about its significance, and hope it can somehow lead you to Perseus. Only a couple pieces of evidence actually affect the story, but it's a cool idea nonetheless. Another neat detail is as you engage in conversation with one person, the rest of the crew is off doing stuff in the background, prepping for the next mission. Things are constantly moving and it makes this place feel alive. You can check out slides on a projector, watch TV. Yo, but do they got the game on? They actually do. Cold War's campaign isn't just business as usual for Call of Duty. They went all out in making it feel like a real investigation led by professionals. The level design is fantastic, and they nailed the Cold War vibe. Everything from posters of a band on the wall to relevant news from the time period. There's so much detail scattered across the environments.
Damn it! Why can't you remember?
You really should take your time with Cold War. Stop and smell the roses. You won't regret it. Cold War full-on immerses you in the 80s, not just with the haircuts and mustaches, but something as simple as an electronics store with CRTVs and VCRs, or a darkroom in the CIA Safehouse. You take photos with an old-school camera. At one point, you use a listening device hidden in a pack of cigarettes. I absolutely adore the technology in this game and how it's portrayed. Cold War proves that Call of Duty doesn't have to rely on constant shooting and over-the-top action to always keep players invested. Sometimes it's nice to slow it down, and the little things can go a long way. In order to find a lead on Perseus, we need to retrace our steps back to Vietnam, where Bell, Adler, and Sims first caught his scent. Bro, what is that throwing form? So it's back to killing the Viet Cong. Eventually we get a kick-ass helicopter section, and I gotta say Cold War nails it with the gameplay variety. We drop down, save the day, grab the nuke, some Soviet intel, and get the girl. And there's even a Black Ops 3 reference?
What? Bell! Still with us? Hey. You still with us?
Back to the Safehouse. 2 missions become available, but until you gather evidence and crack the codes, you won't want to do them. So it's back to the main story, where we head to East Berlin to track down a man named Volkov. It's pretty tight to have a level in East Germany of all places. This game emphasizes stealth missions and gives us that sweet Black Ops atmosphere. One minute you'll be sneaking through a subway avoiding patrols, meeting up with a courier. The next you're silently taking out guards at an outpost. Cold War has a few levels that are a lot like the best mission from Advanced Warfare, Sentinel, where you gotta sneak through an area, you can tag enemies, basically do it however you want. You get to pick locks, hide bodies, and even pursue bonus objectives for evidence. Cold War definitely gives Modern Warfare a run for its money with the level design. One of my favorites, Red Light Green Light, has you investigate a training area for the Soviets, where it's like a fake American shopping center. You bust into an arcade, Woods is all pumped up, and then...
Not a fucking word, Bell.
Oh, I'm telling Adler about that. These are the most detailed environments I've ever seen in a Call of Duty. They even got a genuine Burger Town replica. There's Burger Town t-shirts. Man, the Burger Town lore just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
Would you like to super duper size that?
Yes!
Would you like to make that a super duper mega combo?
Hell yeah! Best part is the fake movie theater with posters. Knifewood 2. He brought a knife to a gunfight. Again. But in the Soviet base, we learned that Hudson knew about a stolen American nuke hidden beneath Berlin and didn't tell us.
The stolen nuke is American, and Hudson fucking knew.
So once we get out of there, things get pretty heated amongst the bros.
Falcon! You knew the nuke was from Green Light, didn't tell us! What else are you hiding? Maybe I can knock the truth out of you.
I love Frank.
You might want to rethink that, Woods.
I love Hudson.
Everybody stand down. This little pissing match isn't gonna help us catch Perseus.
I fucking love Adler.
The bastard's been lying to us all along.
It's not a lie. It's an omission of fact.
That's what you do best, isn't it, Hudson? Manipulate people. Tell them your own version of the truth.
Oh shit, he's bringing up the brainwashing. The next mission, Echoes of a Cold War, has us take control of Mason in a nostalgic trip back to the satellite array from Black Ops 1. Treyarch sure got me hard on the nostalgia, man. Even have a little numbers Easter egg if you examine this body. There's more secrets too. If you find a key and take it back here, you'll get a special magnum and find a picture of Dr. Steiner. This all connects back to BO1. Now we have the evidence to do the optional side mission, but we still have to crack the code. To make a long story short, you have to find patterns in the clues, input the right digits and city, then bam, side mission unlocked.
Hell yeah.
What an amazingly mature idea. And apparently each player's codes are randomly generated, so you can't cheat. And I like that Cold War is getting me to use my brain a little bit. Moving on to desperate measures. Until now, the Modern Warfare and Black Ops series had taken place in what I believe to be separate universes. But in this mission, that all comes crashing down. Our Russian informant Belikov is helping us break into KGB headquarters. Once again, this is just like another mission from a previous COD that was mostly terrible. Liberation from World War II. Putting the player undercover in a hostile environment. God, I love this. You can explore the Lubyanka building to your heart's content. Belikov gets called to a meeting and holy tits, it's Gorbachev, Kravchenko, and a young Imran Zakhaev all in the same room? The last thing I expected to see was the main villain of COD 4 to make an appearance. So after a tense meeting about a security breach and an imposter among them, we get to work to obtain a bunker key to let Adler and Bell inside. Now, you can achieve this in like 5 different ways. It's totally non-linear. This level is dope. So after obtaining it, we meet Adler and Bell, they snag some uniforms, and hop into an elevator.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Oh, what's up, dude? Yeah, I speak Russian.
Elevator conversation always gets awkward.
You're right about that, Adler.
Remember, no Russian.
We make our way to the vault. Belikov gets captured, rescue him, grab the intel on the sleeper agents, and then, literally, no Russian our way out of here. I'm dead serious. From the intel, we learn there could be a nuke in Havana, Cuba, and the team goes to reclaim it. We infiltrate, check the cameras, and my God, that man is killing all the scientists. It's here. We realize we've only hit the tip of the iceberg, as there are American nukes hidden in every major European city.
We need to find that son of a bitch, Perseus.
As you wait for evac on the rooftop, shit goes haywire, and you must choose between saving Helen Park or Lazar.
You must choose!
Sorry, man. Women and children first. You arrive back at the safe house in terrible shape, but rather than get you to an ER, Adler, Sims, and Park decide to drug you up because you are the key to stopping Perseus, and always have been. Oh hell no, dude. Not Dead Space 2. Don't Dead Space 2 me! Ah! It's all coming back, man.
Off the charts.
The nostalgia.
I need you to relax and focus, Bell.
Alright.
Your helicopter
I'm
crashed.
good. The 3 ask you to remember your time in Vietnam, so back through the jungle we go, again and again. This is one of the coolest missions in COD history, as you're replaying events that happened. But as Adler walks you through it, you can choose to follow him or make up your own story of what happened. I'm not gonna play by your rules, Adler. You hear me?
Sure, Bell, you committed suicide. Then what happened?
The results can get pretty screwy, man.
A tunnel? You pulled out your sidearm and flashlight.
Did I fight zombies in Vietnam? After much trial and error, you find the bunker where Perseus is hiding. And it's there you remember Perseus is in Solovetsky. But in true Bioshock fashion, it's revealed you've been a pawn the entire time.
The CIA's mind control program has had a great deal of success with implanted memories.
You want me to tell them about my time in Vietnam?
Lastly, you'll need a command phrase to trigger the implanted memories.
We have a job to do.
The code phrase, "We've got a job to do," was put in place to unlock Bell's deepest memories. And here's where you make your most critical decision. If you lie to Adler and tell him Perseus is in Duga, you ambush and kill your old crew, what the fuck, and are congratulated by Perseus, or at least the man who appears to be him. If you play light side, you and the team ambush his compound in Solovetsky and save the world from certain destruction. Your choices in this game are mostly on a surface level. The branching paths definitely didn't live up to Black Ops 2, which had different cutscenes for almost every major choice. Cold War's campaign is a phenomenal adventure filled with covert missions, detective work, evidence, and code cracking. It's chock full of fan service and references that make me giddy as a schoolgirl. I really need some DLC for this. This is a true successor to the Black Ops 1 and BO2 stories. It's an absolute blast, and for fans of the series, this is a must play. In the light side ending, you defeat Perseus and stop what could have been World War III. For now.
Arctic air. There's the head, doesn't it?
I'm just hoping I don't freeze my nips off.
Bell, you made 2 extraordinary sacrifices to stop Perseus. One was without your knowledge. The other, you made that decision of your own accord.
Aw, shucks, Adler. You really know how to make an acting bell male blush.
I just want you to know that this little thing that's happened with you and me.
Hey man, I don't kiss and tell.
It was always for the greater good. You're a goddamn hero, you know that, kid.
Feels kinda good to hear you say that.
Heroes have to make sacrifices. That's why when I ask you for one more, I hope you understand.
What do you...
It was never personal.
Huh? So the campaign is pretty dope. Now, before we can even talk about the multiplayer, on the other hand, I have got to put these gloves on because I think there's a big steaming turd on my Series X. No, wait. It's just the matchmaking for Cold War. What went so disastrously wrong here that has got everyone riled up in arms about skill-based matchmaking? After playing about 60 games, I've determined that how the game chooses who I should play with and against is completely inconsistent. My first few matches, I got absolutely dunked on. And later on, I started doing a bit better, then I'd go back to sucking ass sweat from a straw. I had no idea what I was doing wrong. I fiddled with my settings, control setup, moved my freaking couch closer to the TV. I went hardcore gamer mode trying to diagnose why I was going 5 and 25. I felt like some hidden, unseen force was pulling the strings. Skill-based matchmaking has been a heated topic in the COD community for a couple years. Quite literally, it's a problem that was solved on the original Xbox. Halo 2 figured this out in 2004, it's called ranked lobbies. But trying to get the COD developers to implement a ranking system is like trying to get a vampire to eat garlic. We can only speculate what type of SBMM system is working behind the scenes. Only Treyarch knows for sure. But I'm willing to bet that the intuitions of the entire COD fanbase are not off track here. There's an amazing post by Ben Grunnell on Reddit. I'll link it in the description, but in a nutshell, he says, Cold War's matchmaking doesn't match you on skill, it matches you on immediate performance. It creates an illusion of success or failure and inhibits players from ever truly improving. This is arguably Cold War's biggest problem, and yet it has the easiest answer. The matchmaking doesn't ruin every match, but it does make every other game very sweaty and sometimes unenjoyable. To add some circumstantial evidence to Ben Grunnell's post, have you wondered why lobbies disband after every match? Probably because they're now matching you based on the performance from that game, so they can't have you go up against the same players. But now that I've cleaned up my Xbox Series X, let's check out what's new to the multiplayer. In a lot of ways, it's gone back to a more classic feeling akin to the original Black Ops. Now for starters, the game is lacking in the content department. And once again, we are the rat being drip-fed at a snail's pace. Modern Warfare, Black Ops 4, COD World War II, all of these games had a severe lack of content at release or massive balance issues. Either way, for the 4th year in a row, we're stuck waiting for more content.
Well, we're waiting.
On the side of modes though, they are severely underwhelming. Combined Arms is a middle ground between MW's Ground War and standard 6v6, and it has two variants, Domination aka Conquest from Battlefield and Assault, which is the best mode in the whole game. In it, all 24 players vie for a single point to capture, which depending on who gets it, will move the next point closer or further away from the other team. It's this tug-of-war match, and this is where Cold War shines the brightest. Combined Arms is a big highlight and can kick some ass, but how long do you expect me to be entertained when it only has 3 maps?
I want more.
The only other new modes are VIP Escort, which is fantastic, and then Fireteam Dirty Bong. I have no idea what they were thinking with this. Let's have a Battle Royale mode with infinite lives. 10 teams of 4 running around all trying to get to 6 different points while collecting uranium to detonate the bombs which nabs you points and... I just don't get it. It's hard to continue playing this when I feel I've already experienced everything the game has to offer in the first 6 hours. Now, considering that Cold War is essentially the stepbrother of Modern Warfare, you really have to ask yourself, why don't I just play Modern Warfare? The answer is I don't know. That's a red flag to me. I can't honestly give you a reason to play a brand new Call of Duty over the one that came out last year. It's got way more maps, modes, weapons, everything. But because they feel so similar and are splashing the same content into each other's pools, why would you swim in the pool that's only filled up to the shallow end? But let's talk actual gameplay and mechanics. This is where things get funkier than Funky Kong at a disco. On a positive side, the weapons feel really good. Sound effects, hit detection, latency. My experience has been pretty solid with almost every weapon I've used. On the other hand, aim assist is actually broken. A little bit is necessary, but they took it way too far. And this video from the exclusive Ace reveals all. What you're seeing here is the aim assist is so strong, it literally stops his crosshair in front of the enemy as the game tries to track them. If you ever feel like your inputs aren't matching what happens in game, this is why. I've never seen any FPS title, let alone another Call of Duty, fuck up the aim assist this bad. In terms of balance, this is the part where I'd complain about the MP5. Fortunately, Treyarch seems to be on top of updates and patches. So at the very least, I have faith that they'll resolve a lot of these issues in time. The greatest improvement Cold War has made is how it encourages all types of playstyles. In World War II, maps were so tiny, snipers sucked. In Black Ops 4, you either rushed or did nothing. Modern Warfare, camp or die. Cold War, I can do anything in Cold War. Almost every weapon feels viable, except for some reason launchers are pretty much useless against other players. The pistols are killer. Even the knife. I saw some dude fucking up people with that in Fireteam. Cold War has managed to create an environment where both rushers and snipers can thrive. You know, I'm happy for the quickscoping community, but fuck you. Most people don't seem to mention that Cold War has basically avoided everything that made Modern Warfare a worse game. All the stuff that had to be patched, claymores, shotguns, footsteps, overkill. Gunsmith has of course returned, and I reckon just like the Pick-10 system, Gunsmith is gonna stick around. Anyways, the best part about the Gunsmith is being able to see the exact math of every stat that is affected. Some of the scopes though suck donkey balls. I don't know if it's a visual glitch, but sometimes you can't even see the reticle. Did they not have red marker in the 80s? This is the weirdest visual bug I've seen, but it essentially makes half the scopes useless for all weapons because they're just so inconsistent. Field upgrades are back too, they're more or less the same, but thankfully the proximity mine is in here. Now there's one perk that's been getting shafted lately, Scavenger. Once again, it's useless because you can get ammo from almost anywhere. The wild cards are where things really get insane. You can really flesh out your playstyle here. That being said, allow me to bitch and moan about the Scorestreaks. The AC-130 is back in literally the same vein as MW2, but it's called the gunship, which means we don't ever hear enemy AC-130 above! They used previous specials from BO3 with the combat bow and war machine as streaks, which is cool. The chopper gunner makes the game sound like a fucking wood chipper just parked inside your room. Cold War gives us a completely different streak system than ever before, so that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Everyone wins, right? No. This system is more broken than my arm after I smashed it against 10 boards. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Why are they so high? Check this out. My best game, I went 46 and 16, totaling 6,555 points at the end of the match. Well, that's pretty good, wouldn't you say, Treyarch?
That's not good enough!
It's not? You're telling me I need 4,445 more points to be graced with a gunship? So how in Adler's name is anyone expected to get 10,000 points in a match?
What the fuck were they thinking?
After a 46 kill match, all I got was 2 spy planes, 2 care packages, and 2 armor? That's right, there's a goddamn cooldown. You won't even earn points towards your next streak until it finishes. So no matter how much ass you whoop, there is essentially no way to get any streak more than 3 times in a match. Which means there's no point in taking these 3 ever. Even if you play like a god, you got a better chance of grabbing one of those from a care package. Speaking of care packages, did you know you can shoot them down with a single rocket? That's right, you can totally blue ball someone from getting it.
Your care package has been destroyed.
This post from Prince Odo on Reddit shows how skewed the points are. Homie was in the hard point for 236 seconds. How is this man second to last on the scoreboard? The only positive to this type of scoring is it deters camping because there's not much incentive to stay alive. My point is, whatever system Treyarch is using to divvy up the streaks, it sucks. And the fact that you can shoot down care packages when it often takes 4 minutes to get one is really dumb. At last we arrive at the map design. We need to go off on a strong note, don't we? We're not going to. It's shocking that Cold War can have such great map design and yet still feel inadequate because there's not enough there. Halo 5 taught me a valuable lesson about spoon-feeding video game content. If your game feels lacking when I buy it and play it, at release, I am less likely to continue playing it. I've got ADHD and a short attention span, alright? Promises don't entertain me, content does. So, the maps are visually gorgeous and stylistic, with that Cold War vibe, but they also strike a nice balance between open and complex, and straightforward linear. You will sometimes feel like you're running down the same lanes over and over, but there's a lot more branches off those lanes. Cartel is probably my favorite because of how wide it is. So many different spots to post up in. At launch, this game had 8 standard maps. Combined Arms has 3, Fireteam has 2, so although Nuketown has been added, the lack of modes and maps is really gonna halt my enthusiasm to play this if something isn't done. Overall, Cold War's multiplayer has a certain appeal and old-school simplistic gameplay, but with contemporary innovations. It is the step-sibling to Modern Warfare, but severely lacking in polish and content, with crippling issues in the score streaks and map selection. I can't give it a beaming recommendation, but I'd be lying if I said it was total garbage. Just like Purgatory, this multiplayer is somewhere in between. We got a nice little bonus content with Dead Ops Arcade 3, which has remained faithful to its previous entries. It's great, mindless fun as always. And look, I know it's an arcade game, but do I really gotta play through the whole thing in one sitting? Shooty shooty, rootin' tooty, it's fun, let's move on. This time 2 years ago, the COD Zombies community was divided. People didn't really know what to make of Black Ops 4. You got to pick only 4 perks on each map, pack-a-punching multiple times was tedious, half the maps were remakes. Cold War doesn't have any of that bullshit, and this undead nightmare might be more fun than multiplayer. But first, let's complain. What holds this mode back? Only one map. And you have to adopt a certain playstyle for any chance of success past round 15. What do I mean? Well, the zombies have been playing far too many Sonic games. You want to use a sniper or LMG? Don't. You physically cannot outrun or train zombies. A lot of fans were happy that Juggernog was coming back, but it's a crutch perk once again. Except now Stamina Up is also a crutch perk because Die Maschine is strictly run and gun. Looking back, I was real thankful that Black Ops 4 did encourage all sorts of playstyles, including defensive ones, which I tend to favor. There's not a single feasible spot to hold out in, but that's not to say you can't get creative. Pack-a-punching weapons feels awesome, though lacking in a cool animation. Treyarch brought back the style to zombies with the perk jingles. If you wanna get up, you need a little revive. But it's also cool that anything you unlock while playing zombies or multiplayer will carry over to the other mode. The reason this mode is satisfying is the progression. They got Aether Shards, which are earned by hitting higher rounds, which allow you to upgrade abilities, skills, perks, and weapon classes. So even though Zomboids is pretty tough this time around, you will actually progress and get stronger. The entire formula has been revamped. Custom classes are gone in favor of a single weapon choice, and the special abilities are way less overpowered. How points are earned, the number of perks you can have, it's mostly good changes. There's a crafting system for armor, kill streaks, equipment, tacticals, and weapons now have tiers in addition to ammo mods and 3 levels of Pack-a-Punch. It is kinda silly trying to navigate menus when there's a million zombinos around you, but the ray gun is a beast. and the Wonder Weapon D Shockwave kicks ass too. But the best new feature is exfilling. Rather than killing yourself once you get bored, players can end things on a high note and exit the map on their own terms. Cold War Zombies excels at the feeling of progression. In previous games, you'd often hit a point early on where you had all the perks you wanted, weapons were maxed out, and you'd just sit on a stockpile of points without using them. But here, it takes a long time to do all that. This, combined with the option to exfil, makes every match enjoyable. Overall, this Horde mode is on track to be one of the best in the series, but Treyarch has to encourage players to do more than run and gun. And that means we're gonna need more maps. I'm willing to stick around to see it.
Extraction successful. Leaving Alpha Site.
When it comes down to it, Cold War is simply the unlucky offspring of a company who, by any means necessary, has to release a new product every year in November. It suffers from unforgivable technical problems with rampant crashing and unwatchable cutscenes. Leveling up in multiplayer is slow and tedious, and Cold War doesn't offer the content that makes you want to keep coming back. We're stuck waiting. The campaign is Treyarch and Raven at their absolute best. A story that takes risks and pays off, but is less appealing to a general audience, and caters more to longtime fans. With extremely unique gameplay, an amazing story, and a cast of characters that are cemented in my mind as iconic Call of Duty staples. Zombies and Dead Ops are pretty good, but it will take some time to receive the same amount of love BO4 did. The matchmaking system will likely ruin this game for many, and it does result in a ton of lopsided, unbalanced matches. Combined with the broken aim assist, lack of modes and maps, Cold War's multiplayer has far too many frustrating aspects to be picked over Modern Warfare. Look, I want to like Cold War, I really do, but you can't expect me to put up with a game that has crashed my console well over 20 times. Or as cutscenes that completely destroy the flow of the storytelling and shatter my immersion. And that is why Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is so bad.
I'm a goddamn onion, Mason. You should know that.